Shalom and welcome to Cuppa Torah. My name is Hannah Tamar, and today I am drinking Penzeys hot chocolate mix with just a little bit of chili pepper and cinnamon to bring a little spice. Especially on cold days like today, I like a little spice to warm me up inside. This week I want to talk about Exodus, which we are in right now with the Torah portion. We're in Torah Portion BO. And it talks about God hardening Pharaoh's heart so that when Moses says to let his people go, the Jewish slaves, Pharaoh says no, and all these plagues happen. And the reason why it has to happen is so that the Egyptians and the Israelites can see the awesome miracles of God, because they've been enslaved for a long time. So it's a great, it was a great way to show them that, you know, this is power. This is where you need to be focusing your path on to Hashem again. So anyways, I want to talk not about the portion, but about why we read the portion now. And as you can tell, it is January and it's not Passover. And we usually tell this story during Pesach or Passover, which comes a little later. And I get this question asked to me a lot, and I've also asked this question a lot of times. Why do we read the Pesach story now and then reread it again for Passover? Why doesn't the Torah line up with the holidays and we just read it for Pesach? And I had a lot of rabbis just say, you know, it's just where it's placed, it's just how it is. And I was okay with that for a while. But then I was thinking that, you know, we just talked about in my last video about our goal setting and how in the New Year's, for the Jewish New Year's, we spent a whole month preparing our mind, body, and soul for that new us. And Passover is another new year of rejuvenation, of becoming new, becoming free, of breaking ourselves of those things that happened to us in the past. So why not spend time preparing for Pesach just like we did for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? So I think the reason why we read the Pesach story now is to remind us of the goals that we set for the Jewish New Year, or for the New Year if you celebrate the Gregorian New Year, to remind us of the small miracles that happen every day and the big miracles that happen every day. And just because Hashem's everywhere. I don't know where I was going with that, sorry. But it reminds us that we have to go back to that New Year base, to where we were new and we had a clean slate. So while we're reading the Passover story, I want you guys to think about that month of Elul, when you were preparing your mind, body, and soul, and how you felt during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, or if you celebrated the New Year in January. What about your resolutions? Think about your resolutions, and how are you doing with those resolutions? So this week, remind yourself to change the recording in your head from negative to positive, just like the Israelites did when they were slaves. They changed the way they perceived things and perceived God and saw all these great miracles. So when you change the way you see things, you change the world around you, and you see things in a different, I would say, like, amazing way. So this week, I would like you to sit and rethink about your goals, about changing the way you see yourself and you see others. So on that note, I will say, Shalom.